Hello, what have we here?
Welcome to IDP Nation, the place for IDP and draft coverage. We are your hosts, Dan and Darrell. We have you covered for your LB1 Year Taxi Squad. We are IDP Nation.
Welcome to IDP Nation. I am Darrell Winstead, joined by my host, Kyle Bellefeu. What's going on, Kyle?
What's up, buddy?
Just hanging out,
Yeah,
enjoying the afternoon.
absolutely. It's Tuesday night. Let's talk about some football, right?
Tuesday night, turn it up. You know how we do it.
Yep.
Yep.
You betcha.
And we even brought along a friend today at Z-Mags IDP. What's going on, Z-Mags?
Howdy, how?
Right.
I had to throw that in there.
It's all good, man. All good. Whew, man, it's going to be a crazy offseason, I can tell already.
Oh yeah, are we ready for this?
Actually, I am. I'm chomping at the bit to see what's happening, especially with all these quarterbacks making moves, and we ain't even hit free agency or nothing. They're demanding trades and all this. So yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a free for all once the free agency opens.
Yeah, it's not just a coaching carousel this year. There's a quarterback carousel, and then we have with the salary cap issues. You're going to have a lot of veterans getting cut and moving around teams, so it should be rather interesting.
Yeah, I think so. And we'll get into that here in a minute. But if you want to tell everybody where they can find you and a little bit about yourself to get started.
Okay. You can find me on Twitter at ZMagsIDP. And then I do writings breaking for the IDP guys. So if you guys want to look up any of my articles, you can go to idpguys.org, type in my name, which is Zach Magley, and you can look up all my articles.
Oh, yeah, you got some good stuff, man. I always try to read your stuff and share it everywhere I can. So, yeah, good stuff. Thanks for coming on with us tonight.
Definitely want to check out Zach's breakout review.
Thanks for having me.
Busting out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure,
yeah,
dude. Yeah.
Those are actually kind of fun to do. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, it's cool to see how you fared, and you had a lot of hits too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a lot better on my defensive backs and my linebackers than my defensive line article should be dropping sometime this week, the overview on them. I had a few more misses on that. But, I mean, defensive line is such a volatile position. It's really hard to kind of figure out who's going to be productive. So, yeah, that was a little bit more rough. But I'm still proud of the guys that I hit on. The three guys, the main guys I hit on were Stephon Tuitt, Brian Burns, and Montez Sweat. But, I had Josh Allen. Yeah. Well, he was huge this year.
I love it.
So I had Josh Allen out there too, but I don't think any of us saw that injury coming. But he was really slow coming out of the gate too. So
yeah. See, I was high on Montez Sweat coming out as a rookie. I just thought his game was going to transition so well, and it did. And now he gets Chase Young on the other side to take away all those double teams and stuff, man. If they get a linebacker behind that front four that can play, I would love to see Micah Parsons there. That'd just be nasty.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that defensive line is stout, and Chase Young and Sweat, that is quite the duo, quite the young duo too.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
And Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen, they're young too. They've not. I mean, Allen's probably the older of all of them, but
he's not that old either.
No, he's not. So, and I think that helped him.
Yeah, go for it. My bad.
No, you're all right.
So,
yeah. All right then. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of talk. We'll keep moving right along here with the news and notes. Kyle will love this. When the Green Bay Packers released linebacker Christian Kirksey in a cat move, I kind of saw that one coming, especially after he missed some time with injury again this year. And the NFL, how many times have we said it, Kyle? Your best ability is availability. If you can't stay on the field, it don't matter how good you are. So,
yep. Yeah, I agree. The writing was on the wall for that one. And even towards the end of the year when he was back to whatever health he is for Christian Kirksey, I'm not even sure. When he was active, Chris Barnes was taking over the majority of the snaps anyway, and he was leading the way. So it was pretty evident Kirksey wasn't a long-term plan after what they saw.
Do you see them sticking with Barnes to fill that role, or going out in free agency, or trying to go through the draft, or like I said, do they go with Barnes or even Ty Summers or somebody like that in-house? What do you think they're doing there?
I don't expect them to make a move for a linebacker in free agency. I could be wrong, but I don't think they will. But yeah, I think Barnes will be in the mix. I think Kamal Martin will be in the mix. Those are both young guys that showed some promise this year. There's a learning curve, but I mean, Chris Barnes really was handed the reins at the end of the year to eat up most of the snaps and run the show, even with Kirksey back. So, and I know they
were both rookies,
Martins.
Yep.
Right? Yep. Chris Barnes is undrafted, and Martin was like a 5th rounder. Those are two guys that they like. I could see them drafting one. I don't know. We have a big need at tackle and corner. So I don't know when they would take a linebacker, but I could definitely see that being in the mix as well, depending what their board looks like.
You don't see them rolling with Kevin King again?
Oh my God. Please no.
Woo!
Yeah, no, that's over.
Jeez.
Thank goodness.
As the sip out of his
That's
cup.
over with. Oh man. So yeah, that's a cap move. I think they cut a lineman too, did they not?
Yeah, Ricky Wagner was another one that
so they're definitely clearing some cap space for something. Just interesting to see who you thought maybe would fill Kirksey's role.
Yeah, I don't expect them to make a move in free agency. They could though, but you never know.
Right. Another cap cut here, the Carolina Panthers. They released safety Trey Boston, and in a cap move, and we talked about it last week, they let Kwan Short go. So they're clearing some cap space too. Curious to see, they got to be going after a quarterback, right?
Makes sense.
And I think this year's draft kind of makes it all offense too, because last year they went all defense with Chin and Derek Brown and those guys. So,
yeah.
What you think, Z-Mags? What's your thoughts here?
I mean, rumor has it, they're going for Deshaun Watson. I'm as a Bears fan, I'm holding out hope that we get Deshaun. But, I don't know how that's going to go. As a quarterback has been such a freaking struggle for the Bears franchise for as long as I've been alive.
Forever.
So, yeah. It'd be really cool to see that happen, but I don't know if they've got the draft value to make a move for him, probably for what Houston would want. I'm one of those guys who would be willing to move. I wouldn't mind saying bye-bye to Khalil Mack to get Deshaun Watson. I feel like the edge role I feel like you could find that a little bit easier than you can a franchise QB.
And Houston might jump on that losing JJ Watt.
Yeah,
that'd be a good little piece to get back there. Yeah,
I could definitely agree with that. For Carolina, I think it'd be quite interesting to see what they do. I think Houston's going to wait to do anything with Deshaun. I could see him being a draft day trade type of thing there.
I think the Deshaun things. I think this thing's going to push into the season. They're both going to try to hold their ground, be stubborn, and it's going to start getting antsy when training camp shows up and he's not there. That's when they need to start worrying. And then, of course, when games start, that's when it actually counts, because that's basically when it really hits your pocketbook, because we've seen in the past, you can miss the entire training camp and these teams like, well, if you'll just come on back for the season, we'll work something out and waive these daily fees that you earn at camp or something like that. But the season, those game checks, that's when it gets real right there.
Yeah. I think they get fined like $50,000 a game or something like that now too.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
With that new collective bargaining agreement they came to.
You might be right.
Last season or the season before.
Which I kind of hate it, and I know we're getting off topic here a little bit, but I kind of hate it because it's setting up a precedent here. Because Deshaun just signed that new big deal, and now he's demanding a trade out. It's not like he'd signed a new contract and played 5 years out of 6 on it and demanding it. You know, that's a little different. But when you're only a year or even 2 years into a multi-dollar or multi-year big contract like that, I think I hate to see it. I mean, I understand it on their part, but the NFL, I actually heard this on the radio. The NFL created this. They saw this coming. They created this, and now they're having to deal with it. So, but anyway, we'll see what happens. But I do think it'll be interesting. The Falcons released Ricardo Allen in a cap move, and there's going to be tons of these as we go forward in the next few weeks. I don't know how y'all feel about him. I know he's kind of getting up there in age, but for a team looking for a cheap corner that can be effective, Ricardo Allen is a guy that you're going to want. He can play all the secondary spots, even the slot or at safety. He can rush the passer. He can defend the pass. You know, for a cheap veteran type deal, I think he's a good player that teams that are in need of secondary help, Titans, could look at.
Well, I could say he's better than Kevin King.
Well, the Tennessee Titans would say, hold my beer here with what we have. Well, I mean, we got roasted out there on the corner. So I feel your pain, Kyle. I feel you.
For sure, man.
Didn't the Cardinals release Patrick Peterson too?
I heard they was going to. I haven't checked to see if they have yet, but that is something that I did see that it's – how did they say it? They were expected to release him. So, yeah, I mean –
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, that was a day or two ago, so he may have been released by now, but I didn't see it anywhere when I looked earlier. But I'm kind of surprised that they're letting him go. Somebody's going to jump all over him for sure in free agency.
Oh, yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah. Speaking of free agents, Ndamukong Suh, he squashed the rumors he's retiring. He's like, nope, I'm not retiring. I want to come back. I want to come back with the Bucks, win another championship. That's the power of the GOAT right there. TB12, when you're winning those championships, people are lining up for days to come play with you, you know? A lot of people don't like Suh. I have loved Suh all the way back from his days in Nebraska. He was just a beast. And somebody mentioned it the other couple of weeks ago, and I went back and looked at I think it was his senior year, man. He should have been a Heisman candidate. I mean, you all get a chance to go back and look at his senior year numbers, what he did. Freaking beast. But speaking of Tampa Bay, they got a lot of decisions to make.
They do.
You know, they got to bring back Suh. I think they've got to bring back Shaq Barrett as a free agent. I think is Levante David one?
Yes.
Levante David. Yeah. They've got a lot of
Chris Godwin.
Godwin, yeah.
Leonard Fournette.
Yeah. So there's a lot of pieces. Maybe Antonio Brown too. I think he's just a 1-year deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of pieces. They got a lot of pieces they've got to figure out. Now, with that said, especially at the edges I know I said it, edges. Ha ha, Dan, if you're listening. But with JPP and Shaq Barrett, I almost think they can't sign both of them.
They have quite a bit of cap space, I think.
Oh, do they?
Like $25 million, I think.
Well, maybe they can, but don't you think, even if for some reason, if they don't you kind of think they look at a Von Miller or J.J. Watt? Now, I did write a piece on J.J. Watt. I think that if they move on from one of those two, JJ Watt might line up and say, hey, I want to jump on this TB12 train and get me a championship too, you know?
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
I think Von Miller's got some legal issues going on, though, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, that is right. Yeah.
I don't even know if he's ever going to play again.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's very true. But anything's better than what Tennessee did last year with Jadeveon Clowney and Vic Beasley. They just threw money down the toilet right there. But don't get me started, Kyle. Don't get me started.
I won't.
Oh, Lord,
I can't believe that happened, man. Both of them just whoop.
Gone. You know the Jadeveon Clowney. I was okay with that. I was like, okay, I think they kind of drug it out and paid him a little more than he was worth, but I was okay with it. The Vic Beasley thing, oh my God, I was beating every door, every drum, standing on every table screaming, "Don't do this!" And man, even before they signed him, there was so many bad things I heard about him. I was like, y'all just pissing money away right here. So
yeah, you called it from the start there.
I remember the off season when they started talking about it, how upset you were. You were not happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of research on stuff, but when they started mentioning him, I tuned into every radio show in Atlanta that I could find. And it wasn't just media, it was former coaches, former players, and there was just too much going on. I'm like, if you give him any amount of money, you're just asking for trouble, and it bit him. So, but anyway, enough about the Titans. And that's kind of it for the news and notes. However, I do have one I thought we need to mention today. Tiger Woods was in a single car accident. And I seen that he was on his way just before I jumped in here. He was on his way actually to see Justin Herbert and Drew Brees when he wrecked. He had been playing, I don't know if he'd been playing golf or whatever, but he was on his way to see them when it happened, and he rolled it over. So apparently it's pretty serious. They had to cut him out with the jaws of life. From what I understand, he has pretty significant leg injuries. So he's going to be down for a while. So hope he gets better and gets back to doing what he can. But, of course, being able to walk and all that good stuff is top priority. But big news. I thought we needed to mention that.
Yeah, hopefully the surgery goes well and he recovers. Definitely tough to see.
Yeah, prayers up for him, definitely.
For sure. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Before we get going here, Kyle knows the drill. We got to pay a few bills here and there. First off, we want to give a big shout out to myfantasyleague.com. They support us in all of our listener leagues. They were a supporter of the IDP guys, IDP Invitational. They do a lot of charity work and stuff like that, helping leagues out. I know some people kind of knock them, but I'm a big believer you get what you pay for. And I think they're just the best site out there for what you can get and what you can do with it. And I mean, you can get really creative if you know to. And I'll admit, sometimes in the beginning, it's a little hard to navigate. But once you figure it out, it's really good, easy to use, so many options. Talking to them about some stuff, trying to get them to do some other stuff in the future. We're discussing that, so we'll see how that. I don't want to say nothing right now, but we'll see maybe how that goes, and hopefully it'll be something big for all of us. And then another sponsor we have is Action 24/7 Sports. It's a local gambling site for Tennesseans, by Tennesseans. It's the only state's local gambling site. Man, they got so many things going on. Tonight they had to build a 3-leg parlay, get 30% back if it doesn't hit. Thursday they got the soccer clean cleats, bet on a total goals for a soccer game, get 30% back if it ends in a 0-0 tie. Friday they got the basketball, place a $35 bet. They'll give you a $15 bet for free. And then in our world, Saturday they're doing the FCS. Go make a $25 bet. They'll give you a $12.50 bet free. Man, they got so many things going on. Then Saturday and Sunday, they got the soccer parlay insurance, goose egg guarantee. You can bet on every Preds home game, stuff like that. They're also running another promotion where it's a refer a friend program. So, you can, if you sign up and make a deposit, use the promo code Hollywood100. They'll match you up to 150 there. And then if you refer a friend, they'll give you another 30. So you can get like $180 that they're going to get you right there just on your initial deposit. So they're running stuff every week. I know Kyle's listened to it every week. He knows what's going on. During the Super Bowl, they give away Super Bowl packages. You can bet on anything: baseball, basketball, football, hockey, darts, ping pong. Yeah, MMA. I mean, if you know your ping pong Z-Mags, they got you covered, but you got to live in Tennessee to bet. So that's the only thing.
Ping pong,
yes. But go check them out. Real clean, easy to use site, just as good as the big boys, if not better. You don't even have to bet money. They got a free site where you can win prizes and money. You can go over there and play for free and win some stuff. So go check them out. And of course, anytime you support our sponsors, you're kind of supporting us too, helping us out. We do have to pay a few bills, unfortunately, to do this. And it's not cheap making Kyle look good on TV. So
definitely not.
But anyway, go. Yes, Z-Mags. If everybody could see our chat over here, yes, that would be great. Oh, but yeah, go check them out and support us. Use the promo code Hollywood100. All right, so let's get on to the main event, the big stuff. And actually, this was Zach's idea here.
Ah, shucks. Come on, guys.
Yeah. I mean, it ain't all about us. We like to cater to our guests and see what's going on and see what they're thinking, where they're at with it. And you wanted to talk about way too early breakouts.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
So since you're the guest, I'm going to let you go first with your first one. And we'll just kind of, y'all want to do positions? Like we'll do the linebacker, lineman, defensive back. So like you do both of your linebackers, then Kyle, then me, and we'll just rotate around.
Yeah, we'll just pass it around. Yeah.
All right, here you go. Pass, puff.
Ooh, switch it up on us. Yeah, okay. Let me get you started with we'll do linebackers first. My first linebacker is Dre Greenlaw out of San Francisco. With Quan Alexander moving on, I think in my honest opinion, I feel like Dre Greenlaw is the best linebacker in San Francisco. A lot of people are big fans of Fred Warner, but I'm not a big fan of Fred Warner.
Hot take.
He's a great linebacker, don't get me wrong, but I think Dre Greenlaw is better. And I think he has a really good chance to break out and possibly end up leading the team in tackles. We'll see.
Sweet.
Then, yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys wanted to talk about it at all, but then I could just move on to my next one.
Just hit them both, and then we'll kind of bounce off of them.
Sounds good. My second is Jacob Phillips, linebacker out of Cleveland. He's going into his sophomore season. He struggled with injuries a little bit last year. Didn't get to see as much time as we probably wish he would have. But he was ahead of Patrick Queen on the depth chart at LSU.
Yes.
And I think he's a very capable linebacker. And depending on what Cleveland does with the draft this season, I think we have a good chance to see Jacob Phillips be productive for the Browns. So we'll see what happens. But I got some high hopes with him.
I like it. Those are both good calls.
Thank
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Dre Greenlaw take there. That's like you said.
It
is. I mean, a lot of people are really high on Warner, and I'm one of them. But
I am too.
I'm really high on Dre Greenlaw too. I kind of thought the same thing when Quan moved on. I thought he was going to be the next guy up, and I kind of see him and Warner just kind of taking off together with this. So, and with what they got up front, with Bosa and Armstead and those guys, there's a lot to like about those linebackers. But I do like Greenlaw. I think he's a lot better than people gives him credit for too.
Yeah, that's a good duo. That Greenlaw Warner duo is going to be solid. I like the Phillips call too because that Cleveland linebacker unit, BJ Goodson led him this year, and he's average. And Mac Wilson fell out of favor, and Sione Taki fell out of favor. So Phillips has a chance to make some noise there. So that's a really good call.
Wilson had the injury and then came back. So I'm kind of wondering maybe if that was part of it.
He just never got any big time snaps,
I know. So do you guys think that Phillips is the guy now, that they're just going to move on from Mac Wilson? Because I got to think if they are, they maybe flip him somewhere, trade him somewhere.
They could.
Yeah.
I might have missed the Wilson news. Did they decide they're releasing him or something?
No, I was just asking. He got hurt,
Gotcha.
and it seemed like Phillips kind of passed him up down the stretch there. And I was asking, do you think Phillips has moved ahead of him as far as the starter? If so, do you think they move on from Wilson? Because I would imagine they're going to keep Wilson. Like you said, they're not too happy with Taki either. So
right,
they got to put two of those out there, right? I mean, let's see.
I think Wilson and Phillips will be their starting two. I think you might see Wilson get a little bit more playing time at the beginning of the season because he's got a little bit more experience in the pros. But I wouldn't be surprised if halfway through the season, Phillips is their number one guy, to be completely honest.
Right. Yeah, he did play very well down the stretch last year. So, all right, Kyle, you're up with your two linebackers.
I'm up. I have two. There it is. I got a couple of second-year guys, rookies this past year that are entering year two. My first one is Willie Gay from Kansas City. I thought he would get a little more run this year once he got settled into their scheme and stuff. That linebacker unit with Hitchens and Damian Wilson and Ben Neiman isn't very exciting. I mean,
not at all.
No.
Yeah, they're a meb. I mean, they do what they're asked, right? But I mean, that's a unit that could use an influx of some young up and coming talent, and I think Willie Gay has that. I mean, he was always going to take a little bit of time to develop coming out of Mississippi State, but they didn't use him as much as I thought they might towards the end of the year. Then unfortunately he got hurt before the Super Bowl and stuff, and he had to have meniscus surgery. But I think so Hitchens is still under contract. Damian Wilson is going to be a free agent, and Neiman's going to be a restricted free agent. I don't know how much priority they'll put on bringing one or both back. I don't expect them to, and I would like to see Willie Gay just trading wheels off and let's go.
I think there's a lot of people would like to see that. I'm surprised that it didn't happen this year.
Right.
I mean, I think everyone kind of expected, with Hitchens and all those guys, they were like, Willie Gay is going to come in and just run away with one of these jobs. And
right. And that, the thing is like those guys that are there, they're not really great in coverage, and Willie Gay could kind of provide something there for him. And he definitely has the best range of the group as far as athleticism and speed. But it didn't quite work out the way a lot of us thought and hoped this year. But I think year two, we see Willie Gay, as long as he comes back healthy from his surgery and everything goes well there, I think Willie Gay could have a big time role there. And, make some serious noise in the IDP world. Then my other guy is Jordan Brooks in Seattle. They got a big decision looming with KJ Wright. Sounds like he doesn't want to take a hometown discount, which I get. And they invested a first-round pick in Brooks, taking him 27th overall last year. And he showed some flashes this year, when he got his opportunity to play. And I think he's a big part of their plans going forward at linebacker. And, if they do let Wright walk, him, Brooks and Bobby Wagner would be a nice duo. And that's a productive spot there in Seattle. So I like Brooks to have a year two leap here and put up some numbers.
Yeah, I got to pick Dan's brain about this because everyone knows he's our big Seattle guy. I almost get the feeling that Seattle's going to run with Wagner and Wright until the wheels fall off, which you really can't blame them, as good as those two have been. But my question is, and Kyle kind of mentioned it, KJ Wright's not going to play for a hometown discount. I saw that same thing. And I think that's coming with Wagner too. So, but with them both kind of being older, you may be seeing them on their final. This may be their final year or years, whatever they've got left on their contracts. I don't know that they're bring back candidates if and when that time comes. And so a player like Jordan Brooks, I don't know if he will break out this year, but I definitely could see it as early as next year, 2022, 23. And I think how well he does is going to determine whether they bring back a player like KJ Wright or even Wagner down the stretch. Wouldn't you imagine?
I think Wright is a free agent this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, he is this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't see them bringing him back. I think it's going to be Wright's out the door. And then you're going to see Brooks take that step up.
See, I was thinking he had one more year left.
No, Wagner's got 2, I believe.
Wagner has 2. I knew that, but I was thinking KJ had one more. Okay.
No, I think he's a restricted free agent. I could be wrong, but I think or maybe he's unrestricted. But
yeah. Okay. Either way, then there's a good. Oh, well, there you go, Kyle. Good job.
That's what I'm saying. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
That's your one help tonight, Kyle. You're one right there.
That's the nicest thing you've said to me in weeks, Darrell.
Well, don't screw it up. I can take it back. It's like gold stars at school. I can take it back anytime, Kyle.
I know. All right. I'm done.
Z-Mags is already up on you anyway. He got 2 before the show even started.
I know. I'm not good for much. You know that.
Well, I know. But you're all I got, damn it.
I think you're both wonderful people.
Thank you, Zach.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
All right, Darrell, what you got, buddy?
All right. So my first one is Logan Wilson. Everybody that's listened to me, follows me, they know how much I love Logan Wilson. And I really thought he was going to do it this year. And he showed flashes with some interceptions, some sacks, a couple good tackle games. The Jermaine Pratt kind of stepped up and did a little bit. But I do see them moving to a Pratt, Wilson, and Akeem Davis-Gaither type guy. Because Cincinnati's moving on from some of these older guys. They moved on from help me. Carl Lawson, they've got the big boys up front. So they're kind of transitioning from these older guys, getting this youth in there. So I can see Logan Wilson really making a jump this year. And I'm sure that was part of it too, him coming from Division II last year to the NFL. That's a pretty good size jump. That's a good jump. So I'm sure there's a learning curve there, but he played well down the stretch and had some big games. So I really, really like him. I know a lot of people have hit my DMs and they're like, man, he didn't do a whole lot this year. And I'm like, just be patient. It's coming. You got to be patient. And then my other one, I really didn't want to talk about my Titans, but I thought I've been getting a lot of questions about what they're doing in free agency with Jayon Brown. And Tennessee has some cap issues. They've got to figure out what they got to do there. You got to figure out what they do there. If they bring Jayon Brown back, then I think that kind of squashes my player, David Long, by the way. But Jayon went down this year. He was injured, missed most of the season. They brought David Long in, and he played really well for them. Almost so well that I think there's a discussion to be had. Do they bring Jayon Brown back? Do they try to bring him back, or do they let him go on somewhere else? Now, the second part of that is I think Jayon's going to command a lot of attention in free agency, so it may not be something Tennessee has control of. Whether they don't bring him back or somebody steals him away, I think David Long is a really good piece that could – damn it, Kyle – is a really good piece that could step up and break out this year. What do you guys think?
I thought Long played well for them, when Brown went out. He was real solid. And I love the Logan Wilson call. I'm a big Wilson fan. He was great at Wyoming coming out, before he entered the draft. And I like what he brings to the table. He can play all 3 downs, and I think we see his role expand. He's the most intriguing linebacker in Cincinnati for me. And Josh Bynes is a free agent. He was they brought him in.
Minds, yes.
Yeah, they brought Bynes in to be of that veteran locker room guy for that young linebacker unit they have, and I think he did that for him. He was solid, and I think now it's time to let the young guys roll. But what do you think, Zach?
Oh yeah, I think they're gonna let the young guys roll. No, I think that it's hilarious. Hollywood saying he doesn't want to talk about the Titans.
Yeah, he'll just do it every week. He don't give a shit. Yeah, it don't matter.
Hey, if Kyle can sneak his Packers in there, you can bet your ass I'm getting a Titan in there somewhere.
That's what I say. Yeah. I do it too. Yeah.
Why not, right?
No, I just thought with Jayon Brown, it just made sense because a lot of people are watching that. So
yep.
Definitely. I'm surprised you didn't say anything about Armani Hooker, to be honest. But yeah, I agree. I think David Long has a good chance of being a breakout candidate there in Tennessee. Jayon could be moving on. And Logan Wilson, I believe, is the better of the two sophomore linebackers they brought in. A lot of people are high on Akeem Davis-Gaithers. He's a great linebacker as well. I just think Logan Wilson is the better of the two.
I do too. And Gaither is more of an outside guy who's played well, but I could definitely see him bringing both of them along next year, especially with Jermaine Braddock. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Pratt wasn't too impressive for me last year. He was kind of a letdown.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy with him either. I would have, if it would have been me, I think I would have started Wilson over him. But like I said, that's a big jump from Division II to the NFL. So, I'm sure there's a learning curve like there is with everybody. But I just feel that's going to happen this year.
Yeah. Pratt was okay, and he was productive from an IDP standpoint, I guess. But I think Wilson definitely offers more.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now let's go to our defensive lineman.
Our edge.
Our edge. Yes, our edge. Oh my God, you people.
Edge.
You people.
Okay, my first defensive line or edge player is Alex Highsmith out of Pittsburgh. Bud Dupree is a free agent this year. We got a little glimpse of Alex Highsmith towards the end of the season there in Pittsburgh, and I think he was pretty impressive. And I think that you got to look at that Pittsburgh defensive line already. They're pretty stout. You got guys like Cameron Hayward, Stephon Tuitt, and I think Alex Highsmith is a nice little young gun to add to that arsenal they already have. And I think he has a good chance to be highly productive. You got to look at what Bud Dupree was doing before his injury. And I mean, I'm not saying Highsmith and Dupree are the same exact players, but Highsmith has full capability of doing what Dupree did. And my second was another guy who had a nice little rise this year, Romeo Okwara out of Detroit. I honestly did not see this happening at all. I don't know if any of us did. He had the potential. I mean, I've seen him play, but I just didn't see it happening this year. And maybe I think part of it might be, his little brother Julian's on the team now, so maybe he's tried a little bit harder, or maybe he just got tired of the Detroit defense being so freaking horrible. He's like, well, I'm going to be a standout here. If somebody has to be, might as well be me. And I think we're going to see. It depends on what this new regime does with the defense. But I think Detroit's defense is going to take a step forward this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought in a linebacker because they've been really struggling with that position as well. I mean, they have Jamie Collins. Jamie Collins is a good player. But you got another guy. A guy I thought was going to be a breakout for them this year was Jelani Tavai, and he was ultra disappointing. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them go linebacker at some. Do they have? No, they only got one first-round pick. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see them draft a linebacker or possibly try to bring somebody in.
I did see it. I forget where it was at or who it was, but I did see somebody mock Micah Parsons to them. Whew. Yeah, that'd be rough. I mean, he would be a stud up there for them. So, I think I like that Okwara. I'm with you. I don't know of anybody that was high on him last year. I wasn't. I'll admit I wasn't very high, so I've kind of missed on him. and like you said, maybe because his brother's there, that had something to do with it. But either way, regardless, he had a pretty good rookie year, so maybe he can build off that and keep it going. We'll see. Your other one, Alex Highsmith, I love that. They had so many injuries, and then he gets to step in when Dupree went down. Of course, Devin Bush was down too. And Alex Highsmith may have played his stuff into a starting position, right? Because Dupree's a free agent. He's a free agent, so he may be gone. So, while you hate to see injuries, Bud Dupree, Jayon Brown, but you love to see, especially if you're NFL teams, you love to see Alex Highsmith. You love to see David Longs, guys that you've drafted that are still on rookie deals that are producing huge numbers, because that allows you to move on from these high-priced players like Bud Dupree and Jayon Brown and not have to pay them those big paydays. So that's the game right there, and especially right now, that's where we're fixing to hit in free agency. Do you pay your guys and bring them back, or do you say, you know what, thank you for your service, but we've got guys that are just as good, it's going to cost us a lot less, that's ready to take over for you and a little younger. So, I mean, that's the cat and mouse game we're playing right now. So I love this time of year. So, yeah, man, I love those two picks. What do you think, Kyle?
No, I really like both those picks. I think Alex Highsmith is built for that 3-4 outside linebacker spot in Pittsburgh. And like I think Zach said, they're probably not going to be able to bring Dupree back. So,
right.
And it's always nice when you're playing across from TJ Watt. Like, that doesn't hurt.
Right. So. And one more thing on Highsmith, and it's something I've been working on personally, and I've mentioned it a few times on IDP Nation. I'm working on a personal grading system for college players. And when Highsmith come out, which was not this year, but last year, right?
He was a rookie this year.
He was a rookie, yeah.
Yeah, he was a rookie
going to be a
last year.
sophomore, yeah.
Right. So when he came out, he was one of 5 players that had an explosion score of over 2 in the entire draft class.
Wow. One
of them was Nick Bosa. One of them was Max Crosby. One of them was the Allen kid. I forget his name down there in Arizona. Zach Allen. One of them was Highsmith. Okay. And I forget who the 5th one was. I'd have to go back and look real quick. But, yeah, those explosion scores so far from what I've been doing, that's something I'm watching because that stood out. So, yeah, that was kind of cool to see him step up like that and fill that role.
Oh, yeah, I dig it, man. Yeah, he was excellent at Charlotte. So
yeah, he was. All right, Kyle, what you got for your edge?
Edge. First one's a homer pick. I know I've talked about him before.
Should have noted.
Darrell's probably tired of hearing about him, but Rashawn Gary from Green Bay, he definitely picked up his game here in year 2 from his rookie season, and this year he really came into camp in good shape, and he was hungry this year. He knew he had to step it up, and he flat out outplayed Preston Smith down the stretch, especially and most of the year. So I think he's a big piece of their pass rushing arsenal going forward, him and Za'Darius. And, we'll see what they do with Preston Smith, but he's going to have to be one of the guys that make it happen, getting pressure on the quarterback. And he showed that, he's ready to step up for him. And I expect another jump for him this coming year and maybe even start sniffing around that double-digit sack number. Who knows? He had 5 this year. If he sees some more snaps this year and he can maybe jump that number up a bit. They're going to need him. And like I said, he was a guy they were relying on big time down the stretch. My other guy was Carl Lawson. He had that rookie year where he had like 8 or 8.5 sacks, and then he's kind of leveled off since. He flashed at times this year, especially when Carlos Dunlap was gone. And I've always thought he was a talented pass rusher, and him being a free agent, I'm very curious to see where he ends up. But I think somebody's going to take a chance on him, and he could end up in a nice spot to really have a nice year. So he's a guy that I've been stashing on quite a few rosters.
Yeah, Kyle, you and I have had multiple conversations about Rashawn Gary.
Yeah, I know.
As a Bears fan, I am able to say I'm also a fan of Rashawn Gary. He's a very impressive player, and I was a fan of him coming out. Actually, kind of disappointed when I saw him go to Green Bay because I was like, man, I like this guy. Now I got to watch him as a Packer.
Right.
And then Carl Lawson, yeah, like you were saying, he was quite impressive. Well, at least impressive to me when he filled in for Carlos Dunlap after that trade. I think wherever he lands, he has the potential to be a nice little breakout player as long as he gets that starting spot.
Yep. I agree, man. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm with you on Rashawn Gary. I own him in a ton of places. In dynasty leagues, I'm like Z-Mags. I was kind of big on him coming out of college, out of Michigan. And I think Green Bay's, correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, but did they not, the year they drafted Gary, they also signed the Smith brothers, right? Zadarius and Preston, or was that the year before?
Oh, man.
I know it was close. I can't remember if it was the same year. But I think either way, either signing them that year before or signing them that same year he was drafted, I think that kind of log jammed him a little bit. Now, Zadarius has proven to be a really good signing for y'all. I think Preston kind of fell off, so there's a shot there for Gary to step up this year and be that guy, and I think he can be. I think he could be a really nice piece for y'all.
Yeah, I do too, and we're going to need him, so.
Yeah. So I guess it's on me here.
Yeah, kick it over to you. Which Titan you want to talk about?
Ha, ha, ha. Funny. Not. Screw you, cow.
There it is.
Oh, if they could only see our private chats, boy, would they know. But yeah, I'm going back to the well again with another player I was on, AJ Epineza from Iowa with the Buffalo Bills. Kind of the same thing with Gary. Kind of roadblocked with Trent Murphy and Mario Addison up there in Buffalo. I saw the other day that Addison is possibly a cap cut that they're looking to move on from him. Trent Murphy's getting older, so that may be another one. They do have the young guy and Ed Oliver up there. So I think you see Epineza, who played well when he got on the field. When they put him in there, he did pretty well. So I think you're going to see a big increase in him because I think they do move on from Addison. Now, rumors has it, are they doing that to make a little bit of room and cap space for the J.J. Watt sweepstakes, which everybody seems to be in? But even if they bring in Watt, I think they still look at Epineza as a guy they can put in there. Like I said, with Murphy being older and Addison maybe being gone, you're going to need – you got to keep that youth churning and turning over there. Damn it, Kyle. You got to keep that youth going there. My other guy is Raekwon Davis from Alabama down there in Miami. Man, what a rookie season he had. Really played well against Devon Godshaw and Christian Wilkins down there. I just think what they're doing down there in Miami with that defensive line, maybe as early as this year, could rival what Washington's doing with their front line. It's not quite as good, but I could see that Wilkins, or Raekwon Davis, Devon Godshaw. So I like what they're doing down there. I like those two young guys. I know Davis is a defensive tackle, but if you play in position-specific leagues, he's your man.
I like that call and defensive tackle leagues for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Davis is a beast.
Somebody just walked into Kyle's room. Yeah, I definitely like both those takes there, Hollywood.
Thanks, man.
No problem. Just trying to look up here. Yeah, with Espinoza in Buffalo, I think that with that team growing, and like you were saying, they could be making room to bring in J.J. Watt as well. I was going to say, I don't know if you guys saw the stuff on Twitter today. He posted that one tweet and it said mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
I saw that.
Everybody was trying to decipher what this meant, that he was going to Pittsburgh, or he was going to Buffalo, or he was going to Green Bay. That just cracks me up. I do think there's a good. I think Buffalo is one of the teams that has a chance to get him as well, and I think that would be great for AJ Espinoza to learn from JJ.
Yeah, I, not to cut you off, but that's something I think I want to get into when we get done here. I want to touch on the JJ Watt thing because I really want to hear your all's thoughts. I wrote a piece on it, but I'm not, I just don't have a warm and fuzzy. But we'll get to that.
What if I don't want to tell you?
Well then it's Kyle's fault.
Like everything else.
Like everything else.
Damn it,
Kyle's responsible for you. He brought you on, so he's responsible.
Ooh.
I hold you responsible for nothing. This is all on him.
Let's make this interesting then, shall we?
All right. So let's go to defensive backs. Z-Mags,
Defensive backs. Okay, my first one is hey, he's back.
He's back.
My first one is Xavier
Wrong
McKinney.
button. My bad.
I thought it
Kyle,
was just me and Kyle there for a second. I was like,
no, it's Kyle's fault. I hit the wrong button. That's all on Kyle.
My bad.
Go ahead.
My first defensive back is Xavier McKinney from the New York Giants. I think he has a good chance of breaking out this year. He was trying to come back from I believe he had an ankle injury or a foot injury of some type last season, and he started to get a little action towards the end of the 2020 season. And I think he just has that. I mean, he definitely has the talent. Was a great player for Alabama, and he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be the next young stud there in New York. It's great for him. He gets to play along Jabril Peppers. He gets to play with Logan Ryan. You got Julian Love there still too. The New York Giants defense took a nice little step up this year, and I think, last year I meant, but coming for the 2021 season, I think you're going to still see that, and I think Xavier McKinney is going to be a vital piece and has a great chance to be a breakout player. And my second is Donovan Wilson from Dallas, who kind of came on a little strong towards the end of the season there. He was kind of off and on to begin with, and I think it took him a little bit to kind of lock up those snaps. But once Dallas saw what they had in Donovan Wilson, he started to see plenty playing time. And he's another guy I'm going to be keeping my eye on and probably trying to grab in where I can find him. He has a good chance of being a breakout player there in Dallas.
Oh, man, I definitely like both those calls. McKinney was one of my favorite rookie DBs out of the last year's class. I really like his game coming out of Alabama. He could do it all. He's really good against the run. He's just a real solid player. And like you said, that's a good pairing with him and Peppers there. And that's going to be a nice duo. Definitely expecting big things. And he looked good at the end when he finally got to get on the field after he recovered from his injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that McKinney call a lot. And he had Wilson in Dallas there. He was a playmaker for them once he got rolling. So another good call there. He seems to he seems to earn himself a role there. So
yeah, I love that Xavier McKinney. He's going to make not only is he going to be great like we thought, but he's going to make a lot of players around him great. I think he's going to help Jabril Peppers. I think he's going to help Blake Martinez, the golden boy, the standard of IDP. That's right, Kyle. Don't even hate because he was a former Packer. You can't even hate on that.
I ain't hating.
But I think he helps that defense overall. And surprisingly, towards the end of this season, or I say this season, last season, I picked him up in a few trades dirt cheap. And I'm like, really? Why are you giving up on him? Just because he got hurt, doesn't mean that he's done. I picked him up in a couple places really cheap. So I like that, Z-Mags. I think he's going to be – I think he could be a top 15 safety. If he stays healthy, he's a top 15 guy, I think.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree.
Yeah. No, good calls, man. my two safeties that I picked, well, defensive backs, but I took two safeties. I took Ashton Davis from the Jets. He's another safety I was real high on coming out of Cal. He ended up getting some time there towards the middle of the season. Then he showed some flashes, did some nice things, and then he unfortunately got hurt and missed the end of the year. But I think he's got a lot to offer for that secondary, and I really can't wait to see what he can do in year 2 once he gets back to healthy and being healthy. And I think he could be a nice safety you could get later in drafts and with a bright future. And then my other safety was Kyle Duggar in New England.
Nice.
He's a small, he came from Lenore-Rhine, small school, good size, athletic guy. I mean, he was a dynamic returner. We know how it goes with Belichick and rookies. It's a tough sled in there.
Yeah.
So it was a slow year for him to start. He started to get some more playing time towards the end of the year, showed what he could bring to the table. And he's a guy you can do a lot with. He's super versatile. Like I said, he's got good size for a safety. He's real athletic. He can do a lot of things. And you never know what the hell Belichick's going to do, but I expect him to use a little more in year 2 and for him to carve out a nice role in that defense.
Yeah, I like both of those. I love Ashton Davis for the Jets. I think you're right. With a new coach, a new whole basically regime coming that maybe knows something, I think he's going to get a huge play. And Duggar, I was high on him coming out, and I'm surprised he didn't get a bigger run as a rookie because of his return skills, because he's a huge punt returner. So I'm kind of surprised they didn't use him in that aspect a lot. But
the New England effect.
Yeah. If you're a rookie, it's tough sledding trying to get on the field early. So yeah, love both of those. Since you stole my guy Ashton Davis. No, I wrote down the wrong name. I was looking at yours and wrote it down when I was looking to see who I had or who you all had, and I just typed it wrong. But
Darrell's just sitting there. Screw Kyle. I'm taking Ashton Davis.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
No, I was looking right at it when I typed it. I didn't even realize that.
He makes his own damn rules around here, Zach.
It is my show, so hey. And Dan's not here to tell me otherwise. So I mean, who can argue?
Yeah.
Anyway. My first one is L'Jarius Sneed for Kansas City. And we kind of saw him break out this year already. Early on he had those a couple of picks early, big plays, and then he got hurt and he kind of missed part of the season and he come back. But he was one of their brighter spots in the secondary. He made a lot of big plays for them, and I don't think we've seen the best from him just yet. And then my other one is very similar to Ashton Davis. I put Jalen Hawkins for Atlanta. Keanu Neal's had injury issues, missed a couple of seasons, has bounced back. What do they do with him going forward? I think he's got, a year, 2 years left. So can he avoid the injuries? And then you got DeMonte Kamasi, or however you say his name. Sorry. They've kind of moved him around. So they've kind of shuffled this linebacking or safety group a little bit. But I could see Jalen Hawkins doing the same thing that Ashton Davis does. I think he's played well when he got in there. I think he could come in there and be that young, solid piece for them, because Jalen Hawkins was really good in college. And I think he can be that in the pros too for Atlanta. And, again, a coaching change. You got Arthur Smith from the former OC of Tennessee down there now. So they're going to bring in, I think when you have these coaching changes, it really affects the younger guys more than it does the veterans, because you kind of know what you get with your veterans or what you've got in your veterans. But it's these young guys that they're really going to look at and study and say, okay, I didn't bring you in here, but how good are you and what can you do for me? And if you've put some stuff on tape and you've made some plays, then I think those are the guys, Ashton Davis, Jalen Hawkins. I think those guys stick because they're going to be good enough that go, all right, we can work with this. And I think there's an opportunity there too, because there's not a lot in front of them. So that's my two guys.
Keanu Neal's going to be a free agent. So
Yeah, so see right there, I mean, do they go with DeMonte Casey and Jalen Hawkins, which I could very well see?
Mhm.
Even if they bring Keanu back, I could still see Hawkins playing a lot of that big nickel 3 safety set. You know, I know Atlanta hasn't done a lot of that, but again, you have Arthur Smith in town. Tennessee did play a lot of that big nickel 3 safety with Amani Hooker, as Z-Mags kind of got at me a little earlier.
Hey.
And funny, you kind of mentioned him and nobody picked him, but I think he's a player that's kind of roadblocked, Amani Hooker, because they got Vaccaro, they've got Byard. I think they bring Vaccaro back, and until they're ready to move on from Vaccaro, then Amani Hooker's kind of blocked. But if he ever was to get a chance, I do like him. But yeah, that's my two, as Snead and Hawkins.
There's quite a few safeties that are walking into interesting positions for this coming season. We gave you guys 6, but you know, there's that's not even there's Jordan Fuller, and Taylor Rapp over in Los Angeles. John Johnson could be on his way out, I believe. Yeah, I think he's a free agent as well.
Yep.
And speaking of Los Angeles, how about Terrell Burgess, the rookie they drafted from Alabama?
Yep. And also another good safety. Yeah. Julian Blackman in Indianapolis has a lot of potential. Joey the Tooth just wrote a nice little article about buy low defensive backs.
Really good article. Yeah,
he's good with those. Those are, and Julian Blackman was one of his in that article. You got like Eric Rowe in Miami. You know, he's another guy who's very interesting position. It's gonna be I swear this offseason is gonna be interesting to see what happens with some of these teams, man.
You know, I don't think we, or at least I didn't, but I knew it was a good class, but I didn't realize how good of a class last year's draft was for safeties.
Mm-hmm.
It is a pretty freaking deep draft. I think it kind of got overshadowed and overlooked because of Xavier McKinney, Jeremy Chin, Grant Delpit. You know, your top
Antoine Winfield.
Antoine Winfield, yes. And I had
all the
Winfield
talk was the wide receivers too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're fine. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Like I tell Kyle, don't let me dominate.
I like being dominated, Darrell.
I knew that was coming.
Oh, Lord. And here's where the show goes off the rails. This is your fault, Kyle. Your fault, buddy.
No, I took a BDSM test once, and I'm a switch.
Oh, shit. Oh, if Dan can only hear us now.
Just in case anybody's interested.
I'll behave.
You're making me Randy.
That's right. Oh, man. Yeah. So many good safeties in that class. I think we better get back on track here.
Safeties. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love that safety class. It was so deep.
Safety words.
Yes. Just so many good ones. Is there anybody Is there anybody that we didn't mention at any of these positions that you two thought we needed to or want to discuss that we may have missed? Or
I have I have a couple I could bring up real quick if you give me.
Let it rip, Tater Chip.
Let it rip, dude.
Give me a chance to pull up my list. If you guys just want to beat around the bush for a minute here, or I could just keep talking like this and keep everybody interested. Really.
While you're looking that up, now is a perfect opportunity to do a little promotion, Kyle.
Ooh, do that, yeah.
You know what we're doing over at the IDP, guys. Something we started last year, a big project during this time of year. And it was a pretty big hit for us. The IDP guys, rookie guides, offense and defensive rookie guides for this draft class. We started it last year. This year is going to blow it completely freaking out of the water. And that's something I used last year a ton, because I was doing the defense, and here's last year's the offense and defense. I was working on a lot of defense last year, so I didn't have a lot of time to study up on the offense. But when I started doing my rookie drafts and stuff, man, I went back and started using these guides and looked at it, and I was like, okay, I know the basics, or I know a pretty good lot, but what am I missing? What do I need to know? And I went back and, looked at this guide, I don't know if y'all can see Devin Duvernay, Antonio Gandy-Golden. That's just the offensive guide, Chase Young. These guides really help me, especially offense. Like I said, that's the one where I needed the most because I had dedicated so much to the defense. But, man, this is 2 magazines that if you play Dynasty, you owe it to yourself to get these magazines. These are game changers. Wouldn't you agree, Kyle?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's so much good information in there. So many good writers contributing in both offensive and defensive.
Yeah, way better than me, man.
It's they're just full of just awesome information.
It's a huge collaboration. A lot of time, a lot of work goes into this, and I'd put it right up there with some of the best that you're going to find on the market. It really breaks it down, and like I said, this year what we're doing is 10 times better than last year. And for me, it just helps, it just helps me with my dynasty leagues. I started fantasy football, I got into the college, and now I just find that the more information you have, the better it helps you. So, so many, like you said, so many good writers. I think it's up on the site now, Kyle. You can start pre-ordering if I'm not mistaken.
I'm pretty sure once the site relaunched.
Yep, you can go to idpguys.org, click on the magazine section there. You can get your pre-order in. You can get a digital copy or you can get a hard copy. Just forget me being in it. Everybody else is just crazy good at it. Joey the Tooth, Kyle, Coach, Dan, just
Todd
Eric,
Foster, Calvin.
So many good people in this thing, man.
And then Jeff Mueller from the Dynasty Vipers is going to have some injury stuff in there as well. So
many
mock drafts,
things.
rankings. Sean Lanny's doing
Sean
too.
I can't with Sean. He knows this. I can't with Sean. But so many. It's just so full of stuff, man. You're going to want to check this out. Like Kyle said, the rankings, the breakdowns, the injuries, the backstories, all this good stuff. So, damn it, Kyle. All this good stuff. So be sure to check us out over there. Even if you don't like me, go support Kyle and those guys out and check out all the good work.
You do a great job, Dale. Don't be so hard on yourself.
I do all right. But, go check it out. And if for nothing else, help yourself win your dynasty leagues because that's what this magazines are going to do for you. So, go check those out. Z-Mags is getting bored with us. He's wanting to talk.
No, so, I'm just having fun trying to make you guys laugh.
Well, you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
So you had some more guys you wanted to talk about. Go ahead.
It's just a couple guys, that have a chance to continue to be impact players or break out. One, I kind of wrote about him this past season. But sorry, that's my Indiana accent slipping out, But Kari Willis, I wrote about him as a breakout candidate last summer. I think he has a chance to continue to I think he could break out even more, And then kind of going with, you were talking about L'Jarius Sneed. I think another guy who kind of snuck up on people this year in Kansas City was Daniel Sorensen. It's another guy people should keep an eye on. Chase Winovich, I think he should start seeing his snap counts go up in New England.
God, I love Chase Winovich. I think he's going to be so good there.
Yeah. That's that hair really gets me going too.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he didn't do better though. Aren't you on?
I snapped her all over.
Yeah, he had a 59. I think it was like he played like 59% of snaps or something there.
Yeah.
This past season, but when he was on the field, he was highly productive.
Yeah,
he reminds me so much of Rob Ninkovich and Mike Vrabel in that role, that jack of all trades kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Ogbah is a guy in Miami people should be keeping an eye on. I thought Shaq Lawson was going to be the guy there this past season, but it ended up being Emmanuel Ogbah.
Man, Emmanuel Ogbah put on a freaking show this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, it seemed like every week he was getting a sack or a half a sack or something. There was a stretch there. He was rolling with it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was very impressive. And then I have we kind of hit on this guy a little bit earlier. 2 linebackers I have left. We talked about Chris Barnes in Green Bay a little bit.
Yep.
I think he's a guy who has a chance to be a breakout player there in Green Bay. And then Tay Crowder in New York, linebacker. I think he has a chance to be pretty productive there next to the Blake Martinez.
Awesome.
Nice.
So I got one for you. It's kind of speaking of Tay Crowder, and this is somebody that broke out last year. But I'm curious to see or hear where either of you think he can sustain this, and that is Tyrell Adams in Houston. Does Benardrick McKinney kind of knock him back? Do they move McKinney? Cunningham's going nowhere. So what do you think about Adams? Is he the guy that you want? Do you think he's going to regress a little?
I think Tyrell Adams is a free agent, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh.
I think he has a chance to be signed elsewhere. I don't know if Houston will bring him back or not.
But see, I'd have to go. I wish we had Jason Waltner on with contracts because I don't know what McKinney has left. But I would almost think if McKinney's kind of done, it would be cheaper to move on from him and sign Adams back.
It very well could be. That, like you just said, I'm not sure about McKinney's situation, to be completely honest.
Not either.
I could actually let me do a quick dig.
We have this crazy thing called internet.
Yeah, I'm whipping out my phone real quick.
Kyle, this would have been a perfect opportunity for you to redeem yourself, but no. Once again, Z-Mags has outdone you.
I have read that McKinney is a cut candidate.
I have seen that as well, yeah.
Oh, really? I hadn't seen that yet.
Yes, so that will be
let's see here
to watch. If they decide to let him go, they could bring Tyrell Adams back. Adams showed that he belongs on the field for somebody. So
okay, so McKinney is under contract until 2023.
Oh, so yeah, he's got.
Yeah.
I think Tyrell Adams is probably out the door, and depending, and that's hard to predict what happens with him. He was. I don't think he was. If you look at PFF grades, I don't think he was graded the best. I might have to hit up my buddy PFF Macri there. A little shout out to him. But
I gotta think somebody kind of rolls the dice and gives him a decent contract. Nothing big. I'm not saying nothing big, but for what you're getting, I think somebody needs him and can use him. Yeah.
Somebody could use him. Yeah.
No, he's shown that he can.
Green Bay. There you go. I mean, you're not. I'm guessing you're probably not going to have to break the bank to get him.
Right.
Because a lot of teams are going to say, well, you only did it for 1 year. You're going to have to kind of prove it to me. But I think a team like Green Bay that, they let Kirksey go. I guess it depends on what they feel with Kamal Martin and Barnes, how they feel about him. But Tyrell Adams, a team like that would be a good piece for them, I think.
Yeah, they got a lot of decisions to make as far as Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, Corey Linsley, some big names, big pieces, but that would be maybe a cheaper option they could look at for sure, depending on what they do with those other big names.
I think Aaron Jones is going to Arizona.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know where he's going, but I do think he's out of Green Bay. I think that's.
I do.
The writing's on the wall there for sure.
Yes, unfortunately, I do as well. So, hate to see it. It is what it is.
Nobody wants to play with Aaron Rodgers. That's
Life
what happens.
is like a box of chocolates.
Nope. That's what you get when you play with Aaron Rodgers. You got
awkward silence.
Yes, it was. You got anybody else you want to mention?
Nope.
Good.
Nope.
Well, just keep your secrets. Nobody wanted to hear them know it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna have to wait till I do my series, okay?
Yep. I'll be on the lookout for that breakout series Zach does. It's good stuff, man.
Fine.
We roll over to the questions here.
Yeah, we'll go over to our one question that Zach got us. You know, you had one job, Kyle. Well, you actually had two jobs. You actually nailed the first one, but anyway. So we do have a listener question here, and it comes from Twitter Joe at Art Over Money, and he has a couple of questions. He says a few possible questions. He wants to know favorite rookies coming into this year, free agents with the potential opportunities and new spots. Tremaine Edmonds currently a dynasty value. So he's got three questions. I guess we'll start with the first one. Favorite rookies incoming this year for this class. Z-Mags, you want to
go? Sure. Are we hitting on the rookies first?
Yeah. Favorite incoming rookies.
Favorite incoming rookies. I'll start with the linebackers. We got Micah Parsons out of Penn State. I think he's probably the number one linebacker. Right. You know, a lot of people seem to be pretty high on him. I watch Notre Dame all the time. Big Notre Dame fan. I can't say this guy's name. Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa. Everybody calls him Jock. J-O-K.
Yeah.
That's a lot easier to say. So that's what I'm going to say. Jock. He's a really good coverage linebacker. You know, Notre Dame, every few years they put out some pretty good linebackers. Just to bring up a couple, Jalen Smith, you know, very capable linebacker down in Dallas. And Drew Tranquil, you know, he did get injured this past season, but he's a pretty darn good linebacker that playing for the Chargers over there. Nick Bolton from Missouri is another guy I'm watching. Zaven Collins out of Tulsa, and Dylan Moses out of Alabama. I'm watching all those guys at the linebacker position. Edge rushers. I did a little show with Joey the Tooth on the IDP update about some rookie edge rushers. I'll tell you, we watched Quiddy Pie out of Michigan. Very, very powerful guy. Has a lot of potential to be a weapon as an edge rusher there. Wherever he lands. Gregory Rousseau, Miami. He's a lot of people's favorites. My favorite overall is Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia. And then another guy I also like is Patrick Jones out of Pittsburgh. When it comes to defensive backs, I haven't watched as much film on them, but I'm still kind of digging in on it. I'm just gonna give you guys one on this because I feel like I'm soaking up all this. But Paris Ford out of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had a couple good guys on their defense this year that could end up having nice careers in the NFL. And Paris Ford is one of the guys I really liked at the safety position.
Good stuff, man.
Oh, good stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, a lot of great names. I'll just hit on a couple. One guy that Zach covered in the linebacker unit, Zaven Collins. I'm just a huge fan of his. He's one of my favorite players in this entire draft. I've talked to him before. Big athletic guy that is just a playmaker. For a guy 6'4", 260, he just moves so fluidly. He can blitz off the edge. He can blitz from inside. He can cover. He's excellent at getting downhill and shooting gaps and making plays behind the line. Just a fun player to watch. He's one of my favorite players in this draft. Chaz Surratt out of North Carolina is another linebacker that's super intriguing. He's only played the position for a few years, being a former quarterback. He's been real productive, big, powerful guy, athletic. His best football might even be ahead of him here. So very interested to see where he goes. Zach named a great group of edges. Another guy that I would add to the edge group is Joseph Osai out of Texas. He's just super intrigued with his game, seeing how he bounced around Texas defense. He played will linebacker, then he played that jack role this last year, playing more of an edge role. He's kind of versatile. He's probably more of a 3-4 outside linebacker type, edge type, but he can play with his hand in the dirt. He did that a little bit as well. He's just
definitely preferred standing up.
Yeah, I would say I think he could do a little both, but he's definitely, I think, like you said, preferred standing up, and I think he's more of a 3-4 outside linebacker type guy. But he's just relentless. His motor never stops, and he's got powerful set of hands. He's a guy I'm really interested to see where he goes. Defensive backs, I'm really intrigued by Hamza Nasruddin from Florida State. Big guy, 6'3", like 215, 216. He had some nice tackle numbers at Florida State. Yeah, he plays some in the slot. He can get moved around a lot. Curious to see where he ends up, what kind of scheme he ends up in. So, how about you, Darrell? What you got?
What you got, Darrell?
Yeah, I mean, all those names that y'all mentioned are great. I think we all agree that Micah Parsons is probably the best IDP in this draft. I think just about the landing spot for him. He's going to go early. I think top 10, but he's at least going to be gone by 15. So, and he's going to be a game changer. So, like him, I like Xavier Collins too. Very good player. Just, man, he's so big, and to do what he does, that's just amazing. I think he's going to be another game changer. Defensive ends, I'm kind of torn on them because it's kind of a mixed bag. I'm not a big
Edge.
Jalari. I know some people are. I know.
Edge.
Yeah, I know. Edge. Yeah, edge. That. I know Joey's a big guy on the Ojulari train. Not. I like Gregor. He's raw. Got a lot of potential though. I like him. I know a lot of people like Jalen Phillips. He's good.
Phillips,
Kwity Paye. I like him. Yeah, I like Paye. I don't know how everyone else feels on him, but I like him. I think he's going to do all right. Curious to see where he lands and who takes him. Defensive backs, Patrick Surtain, those guys are good.
Yeah.
Hamza Dean's good. I like Andre Cisco. He's got a few issues, he needs to clean up, but he's a ball hawk, he hits like a linebacker. He plays a little too aggressive and stuff like that. Got hurt this year and opted out. So I really like him. But I also like, a lot of people like Caleb Farr. I think he's probably the consensus number one corner in this draft. I really like him. But one player I was curious, I wanted to let you two go first because I was curious to see either of you would mention him. But one that has just freaking flew up my draft boards. And I've watched him 2 years ago. The first time I saw him was 2 years ago in a bowl game for Marshall against for UCF against Marshall. And the Gasparilla is Richie Grant.
Ooh,
and if you go back and watch that bowl game and watch the first 6 minutes of that game, and he will show you everything you need to know. He had a pick six. He had a fumble recovery and an interception, and he ran one of them back. And they all come within the first 6 minutes of that game. And he was just on fire after that. What he did at the Senior Bowl, he kind of impressed down there, getting some interceptions and stuff. I know he didn't get it in the game, but that whole week, a lot of people raved about him, and I think he's going to be a name that a lot of people are going to kind of sleep on and not see. And he's going to be a big-time player. Big-time player.
I like it, yeah. Yeah, he's a player, man. I like Richie Grant as well. Good call. I like that call.
Dig it.
What was
so he wants to know. No, go ahead.
Oh, see, what was the second part? Free agents with
the second. Well, he's got 3 parts.
Oh, 3 parts.
Yeah, free agents with potential. Yeah. Well, I think speaking of, I don't know, potential, but because it's there, but J.J. Watt, I think he's the biggest free agent prize right now in IDP, I would imagine. I mean, even though with all the injuries and stuff, he's fixing to impact the team wherever he goes.
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
Jayon Brown would be another one.
Yeah. Yep. How about you, Zach? You got?
I had some of the list pulled up. I'm just trying to get back to it here.
Damn it, Kyle.
I can go. I'll go first while you're looking if you want.
I actually got to pull up.
Go ahead.
Okay. Better, buddy.
Definitely depends on the New York. Touche.
I'm just saying. Touche.
I think it depends if New York Giants decide to bring him back, but Leonard Williams, he had an interesting year this past season. He could be an interesting he could be an interesting guy to keep an eye on. Matt Judon could be moving on from Baltimore. We kind of hit on him earlier. Bud Dupree, Yannick Ngakoue, if Baltimore decides to re-sign him. So I mean, those are
they got to re-sign him or Dupree though, or not Dupree. Who's the other guy they got in? They've got another one. I can't think of his name right off the bat.
In Baltimore,
they have to almost, Yeah, if they don't sign Ngakoue, they got somebody else. Who is it?
They have Calais Campbell over there too. Titus Bowser.
Maybe it's Bowser. I'm thinking.
Matt Judon.
Yeah.
There's a few guys. I guess Romeo Okwara is a unrestricted free agent this year. I did not.
Technically, Clowney's a free agent again because he only signed a 1-year deal, so he's back out there.
Kerry Hyder. Yeah, he didn't do too bad for San
Francisco. I love
Kerry
Hyder. You know what? A lot of people don't know about Kerry Hyder. A few years ago, when he first came in with Detroit, he was such a cheat code because he was listed as a defensive end for the Lions, but he was playing defensive tackle. He was playing defensive tackle, listed as a defensive end, and he got 8 sacks. He was huge for them. So yeah.
Oh yeah. And then I'll give you guys 2 more quick ones. This is a real big one who I'm glad I saw because where he lands could definitely have a really big impact on his production. Trey Hendrickson. He was second in the league in snaps. Or I'm sorry, sacks, not snaps, sacks. And wherever he lands, that if he gets the snaps and the starter spot, he could definitely be a weapon and a guy that we may want to think about adding to our fantasy squads. And another one is, he didn't quite have the season people thought he would with Danielle Hunter being out. And then after Yannick got traded in Minnesota, then got traded to Baltimore, but Ifedi Odenigbo, another guy we should probably keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
And New Orleans is foolish if they don't re-sign Hendrickson.
I don't think they can afford it.
They can't afford him. They got no money.
Yeah.
They got
that's true.
money.
That's true. Yeah, but I mean, man, Marcus Davenport's just been us to this point. I know that's probably who they're going to try to roll with, but
they're stuck with them.
Yeah. Sheesh. Yeah. So you're right with the cap issue. Somebody's going to get a big prize with Hendrickson. He's going to get paid after the season he had. 13, 14 and a half sacks? Yep. Big payday coming.
Yeah, he's earned it.
Yep. Good stuff. So in the third part and final part, he wants to know. I'm sorry, Kyle. Did you have some? I didn't even.
Go ahead.
Before I moved on.
We can move on if you want. If you don't want to hear what I have.
No, if you got something, go ahead, man. I don't want to cut you out. No, go ahead. It doesn't matter if I want to hear what you got to say. Somebody else. I never want to hear what you got to say, but that's besides the point. I mean, damn, don't make this about you, Kyle. Jeez, trying to embarrass me in front of our guest. God, jeez, damn. Screw you, Kyle.
Yeah, there it is. I was just one edge guy I would add is Hassan Reddick. He finished after not doing much to start his career, he really came on, especially with that huge 5-set game.
You came on.
He's fun to watch. And then a couple linebackers. You mentioned, see where if Tyrell Adams ends up somewhere or not. Eric Wilson in Minnesota had a nice year. We'll see where he ends up. And curious to see where Avery Williamson ends up too.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Avery Williamson.
Yeah, he finished strong for Pittsburgh. So
yeah, he did.
We'll see where he goes. Yep.
I'd like to see him stay in Pittsburgh, right there with Bush. I think those two would be awesome.
Williamson and Bush. Yeah, that's a nice little combo.
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do with Spillane, but I would like to see them keep both of them with TJ Watt and whoever they've got potentially on the other side. That would be huge, man.
For sure.
Good
All right,
stuff.
what's part 3?
Good stuff. So the third part, he wants to know, is Tremaine Edmonds what is Tremaine Edmonds' current dynasty value? And that is linebacker for Buffalo.
I think it's going
Kyle,
up.
go ahead. Well, no, go ahead. Go ahead, Z-Max. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to keep it to myself.
No. You done started. You have to let it out.
Yep.
I'll let it out. All right. I think his dynasty value is going up because I believe Matt Milano is testing free agency.
Yep.
Yep.
I think Tremaine Edmonds, I think his chance to be more of an impact player with Matt Milano, if Matt Milano leaves Buffalo, I think Tremaine Edmonds has a better chance to be an impact player. I still think they have AJ Klein there, but I mean, I think obviously Tremaine Edmonds is a better linebacker than AJ Klein. And I think Matt Milano is actually, he's a good player, and I think he takes some of the shine away from Edmonds. So with Milano gone, I think Edmonds' value kind of goes up just a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a huge Tremaine Edmonds fan, and it's crazy. He's only 22.
Hey, he's so young.
Yeah. He's had 3 solid years. He hasn't had the monster season yet, but I mean, he's had really productive years to start his career, and he's still only 22. So yeah, I'm in on Edmonds. I agree. How about you, Darrell?
And one key thing you got to remember about Edmonds playing in Buffalo, he plays for a tackle-friendly scoring or statistician crew because Green Bay's one, Buffalo's another. They like to hand those tackles out. So that's kind of something you don't hear a lot or think of in fantasy, but that is a big thing. Teams that hand out more tackles or score more tackles, that's people you want to talk about.
Absolutely.
All right. I think that wraps it up for tonight's show. Kyle didn't screw up too bad, so we may let him come back next week. I don't know.
You could just hire me.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility because you already outscored him 2-0 before the show even kicked off. So, I mean, hey, I'm just saying, Kyle. I'm just saying.
Speaking of scores, did you set your fantasy basketball lineup, Hollywood?
Son of a bitch. Oh.
I am shocked.
I'm only asking because I'm playing you this week.
I kind of am not shocked.
Yeah, I am just shocked right now.
I ain't even going to tell you what. That's not important. To answer your question, no, I did not.
Okay.
I may or may not have said it for the past 5 or 6 weeks, so I kind of forgot about it.
Oh, my Lanta.
Sorry. Sorry. Well, I kind of got busy. Sorry. Eeks. I need to go check that out. But yeah, whatever. This is a football show, Zach. We don't talk about basketball here.
Oh, my bad.
Anyway.
You're the one talking about Tiger
to
Woods
head
earlier.
over to. Man, he done cut off both legs. Come on. He about to be a paraplegic.
I felt really guilty after I said that.
Well, just blame it on me. I'll take the fall. It's okay. Anyway, we are about to head over to the Patreon with our real friends, the ones we really like. But before we do, go ahead, sign up for that top tier Patreon. You're going to get all the goodies that come with it, roster breakdowns, all those shows, all that good stuff. But you also get that injury guide from our official doctor at IDP Nation, Ethan Turner. And you know what? I bought that guide last year, and it was amazing. It's probably as good as any just regular draft guide you'll get, but that's a game changer. But you know what? As we were on the show, I had an email pop up, and it says 2020 injury rookie guide update. So we got the injury guide last year, and he's already updated it. It just hit my email for download. So that guide alone is worth what you're going to pay, or more than what you're going to pay for our top tier Patreon. So, we're throwing that in if he's decided to throw that in and help us out and help him out. So, go support him. If you don't like to support him, get that top tier Patreon and he'll give you the guide for free. So, Kyle, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, and definitely
and what you're doing.
That, for sure. That injury guide Ethan does is fantastic. Definitely check that out. You can find me on Twitter at kbell54. You can find all my stuff over at idpguys.org. Darrell lets me hang out here with them once a week sometimes. No, man,
that's up for debate right now.
I might have just got replaced.
I just got canceled. I just got canceled.
But no, you can find my stuff at idpguys.org. Did some rankings. I got an article coming out soon on some second-year linebackers, and working on the rookie guide. But I'll kick it over to Zach. I want to say thanks for coming on, buddy.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Kyle, your stuff is amazing, man. Don't your stuff is amazing too.
Thanks, man.
Go ahead, Z-Mags. Zach, whatever we're calling you. Stan, you can be the Stan of this group. If I'm Cartman and he's Kyle, you're Stan.
I'd rather be Butters.
Okay.
It's like I said, what's going to say, I'm really thankful for you guys for letting me come on and do this. I've been waiting for a chance to come on here and talk with you guys. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity to talk with you guys. And it was a good time, and our Twitter chat has been hilarious this past week. I've quite enjoyed it. You can find me on Twitter at ZMagsIDP. I had to look at that. Can you believe that? But yeah, at ZMagsIDP on Twitter. You can find my articles, writings, and rankings at idpguys.org. It's my first year doing rankings, so go easy on me. I'm doing my best. But yeah, I'm doing my breakout, my 2021 IDP breakout series should be coming up here with March. I'm going to start that up. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And I am all done.
I'll definitely check out Zach's work. He does a great job. Absolutely check it out.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
I'm checking his stuff out, man. He is such an awesome writer, does a good job at rankings. Yep. Be sure to go over to the IDP guys, check him out. Check Kyle out too. I have to say, I kind of do it every week, I think. I got to toot my own horn for bringing Kyle over. So glad he joined us. Just a great addition. And both you guys are way better than I could ever be. So I'm just honored to be in the same group with you all.
You do good, buddy.
You sell yourself short way too much. To be completely honest,
you're an
Darrell.
Animal.
You're a content machine. You are. And dude, you really don't get enough credit for the work you put in. You're great, Darrell. We do appreciate you.
This is my head getting bigger.
Dude, you make my head big. So,
Whoa, time out. Whoa. This is a children's show. Hold up. Hey-ho.
It's a children's show. You could have fooled me.
No, thank you guys for the kind words or whatever. But you can find me over at IDP Guys with them too. I do the rankings too. I know how hard those rankings can be to get done. They are brutal. So, man, just check those out. I do the IDP Top 100 Devy rankings for you guys that are in the Campus to Canton leagues or Devy leagues. All kinds of writing, the writing monsters. I'm getting called here in the last few weeks by some people. Just trying to do my part. But yeah, you can find me. Yeah, of course, I'm here with Kyle on the IDP Nation, and you can find me over at Divvy IDP Grind too, where we talk college IDP. So check that out on Reddit, Facebook, Twitter. I'm everywhere. Hollywood's what. I'm not hard to find. So, but yeah, go check them out. Support the magazine. Support the site. If y'all don't have anything else, we will take this to the Patreon.
All right, man. Good night, everyone.
Right. Adios.
Here. Tighten up.
Go, Pat, go.
Go Bears.